Hey, so it's Friday night here in Hollywood. I don't say Friday night. We didn't say that growing up. We'd say Friday night. Friday night, that's Kentucky. What y'all do Friday night? We went Gypsy Drive-In. What did y'all do? We just cruised around town. We just went up Dairy Chef and Riley's and then come back up and around the courthouse, went up to Burger Queen, just kept going back and forth. That's about all we did all weekend long. Anyway. Friday night here in Hollywood, always thinking of back home where I grew up. I grew up in central Kentucky in a little town called Bloomfield, Kentucky. It is a bizarre little town with a really cool history that continues to this day, but that's neither here nor there. When I was a little kid living up in our neighborhood called White City, and it was just because all the houses, when they were built, were shining white and kind of fancy looking and looked like the amusement parks all over America that were called white cities because they were named after the 1904 World's Fair? The one, Devil in the White City. Okay, the Chicago World's Fair was called the White City because it had all of these beautiful white fanciful buildings built for the fair. And so then they started opening up little amusement parks with no connection and calling them White City. So in Louisville, Kentucky, there was a White City amusement park. I've seen pictures. It was charming. And our little street, McKay Avenue formerly, but I never heard that because growing up and all the way back on many of the little records I've seen, it says White City. And it's just that. It was named after an amusement park. Some people say, is it because all the houses are white? Well, to an extent. To an extent. Is it because all the people are white? Well, hell no. It didn't have anything to do with that kind of stuff. It didn't. And not all of the inhabitants of White City were always white, because I was looking through a census and I saw where several of my old friends lived there at some point. I don't know what they're doing, but Josie Beard, who was one of my grandmother's very best friends, who was a black woman, she lived in White City in the 1930s. So, you learn something every day. But anyway, we didn't have Snooty Street in town. We didn't have a Snooty Street. We had some trashy streets, but no snooty streets growing up. Anyway, so Sunday afternoons, my mom would be off, and she liked to keep the family room really dark and cold with air conditioning in the summer. And she liked to, we'd come home from church, we'd have the big, usually pot roast dinner, and then she was like, now, I'm not doing anything else today, because I'm telling y'all, if you want something later, you can get yourself, because this is my first day off of the week, and I've got work planned for tomorrow, and I'm off tomorrow, but this is a day of rest for me, and I'm going to sit down here, and I'm going to watch movies, and there's a Lana Turner movie coming on here in a minute. I've seen it 5 times, but I'm going to sit here and watch it again, because I love it, and it was called Peyton Place. There were three. Mom loved 3 Lana Turner movies. She never said Lana was her favorite, but she loved Imitation of Life, Madam X, and Peyton Place. And this, I want to, I would like to dedicate this song to my hometown of Bloomfield, Kentucky, that was always and will always be just a little Peyton Place full of, not Harper Valley hypocrites, but small towns have small-minded people and big-minded people and big-hearted people and stuff. Small towns have everybody. I'm not slamming it. I'm from a small town. Anyway, so there was once a small town in the movies, and first it was a book. It was a blockbuster book. Written by a woman, and was just like her first tryout, just bang, huge success. Anyway, enough about that. This song reminds me not of Lana Turner. It reminds me of watching my mama with a cigarette in her hand, watching Lana Turner on the TV. Yeah. Happy Friday, y'all. I'll probably go a little deeper in the days to come. I've just been kind of busy around here doing housekeeping and things like that a person needs to do when they live in a really glamorous bungalow in Hollywood, California, where they have lived for 31 years. Now, if I can find my clicker, I will bid you good night. Good night.